Tell us something else, because what you've just described there, we're seeing a huge show of force here, but a lot of smoke and mirrors, it seems, just listening to an expert on Venezuela a moment ago saying that there's no such thing as a cartel de los soles. There are little groups, but this is kind of a fiction. And also you talk about Nicolas Maduro saying that he's deploying 4.5 million militiamen. Well, the biggest army in the world, the Chinese standing army, is 2.2 million. Where's he going to find these from? So there's a lot of pomp and standing up right now. Talk us, you've spent time as Washington correspondent. What's your sense of what's behind this?
Well, look, there are two things, because clearly part of it is actually related to drug trafficking. Whether it's right or wrong about Venezuela, the idea is that the Trump administration, ever since they came into office, have been focused on this war on drugs, whether it was the fentanyl coming through the land borders, that's why they put tariffs on Mexico, on Canada, on China, or cocaine coming from Latin America. That has been a focus of Donald Trump. And to that end, they've been gradually over the last few months designating those drug cartels, not just the Venezuelan ones like Tren de Aragua, but others from Central and South America as terrorist organizations. And why are they doing that? Because by using the terror threat, what the U.S. is arguing is that it is a national security threat. And when there is a national security threat, then you have a justification to use force in a way that you would not be permitted to do in other points. And to your point about Nicolas Maduro and what this is all about, it's about drugs, but some, including Nicolas Maduro, are saying this is about regime change, because they have really named Nicolas Maduro as sort of the kingpin of the Venezuelan drug cartel. Let's take a listen at how Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, talked about Nicolas Maduro, the words he used to describe him.
Let's be clear, Nicolas Maduro is not a government, nor is he a political regime. He is a terrorist organization of organized crime that has taken over a national territory and is using that territory to become rich.
So if you follow that lead, if he is the head of a terrorist organization, then maybe there's justification in going after him. And why did I mention Marco Rubio? Because Marco Rubio has been a longtime hawk when it comes to Venezuela and Cuba, of course. But back in 2018, this is what he was saying about regime change in Venezuela. I think that the U.S. should only be U.S. forces should only be used in cases of national security threats. And there's a strong argument that Venezuela and Maduro's regime have become a threat to the region or to the United States. He has long advocated possibly for a push in regime change. And of course, this harks back to sort of the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, when the United States was intervening more or less subtly in Latin America to push for regime change, help with coup, destabilize government. And so, of course, this is bringing up a lot of questions if that is indeed the final goal or the final intent of what the U.S. is doing right now.
Talk to us briefly about war is peace. Suddenly we're seeing the Defense Department's executive order signed today. Trump wants to call it the Department of War.
Yes, a big change there. Just a recap. This was the Department of War from its creation by George Washington back in 1789 until right after World War II. That's when the Department of War was just the Army, was merged with the Navy, the Air Force. All of that became the National Defense Establishment for a couple of years. And since 1949, it's been called the Department of Defense. But that is not good enough for Donald Trump, who wants a little bit of defense, but also offense. Those were his words. And he also believes that under the name Department of Defense, there have only been bad wars like the Vietnam War, for example, Iraq, Afghanistan. And he says that before that, when it was the Department of War, we would win all the time. So it's a branding issue, but it's also very contradictory when you think about Donald Trump, who came in as the peacemaker, the man who's going to end wars, the man who doesn't want to get involved in foreign wars, who doesn't want troops on the ground anywhere in the world. But now he wants a Department of War. He also is the man who absolutely wants the noble Peace Prize, and that is a little bit contradictory, but it also fits with this sort of bravado, the peace through strength aspect of the Trump administration rather than the defense part.
With him personally.